10 years. 10 years they had to work on Mewtwo. Well, obviously they wasn't working on Mewtwo for 10 years. But between the time Melee came out and Smash 4, and it's basically just any kind of feedback that the community has. But you would think that they would have fixed Mewtwo. Mewtwo and Smash right now are the Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. Mewtwo is bad. I mean, really bad. Mewtwo does have some redeeming factors. And when I mean some, I mean very slight. I was never a Mewtwo player, but as my time of playing Melee before I started trying to get competitive at games, I played the roster, though I spent a lot of my time with Fox. But Mewtwo just always seemed lacking to me in the game. Mewtwo's down smash was good. A lot of Mewtwo's attacks just didn't have the range. And at the time, that was good because, a lot of characters in the game also didn't have the range and stuff like that. Then I started learning about the competitive Smash community, learning about wave dashing, learning about L canceling, perfect shielding, just all the stuff that if you're going to play Smash competitively now, or at least Melee, you're going to do stuff. Now, I've seen Mewtwo King work some pretty bad characters. I watched him completely beat somebody's ass with Mewtwo in Melee. But a character shouldn't only be good because they have to be played a certain way. If we look at the history of Smash games, every character had something that they did extremely well. Yoshi, for example, had armor on his recovery. If he didn't get hit with anything super hard, it wasn't going to disrupt him. Some characters are fast, some characters are slow but powerful. Some characters have a lot of active frames. Some characters have really quick attacks. I mean, there's always a redeeming factor to some character. Throughout other games like Brawl, Mewtwo wasn't in it, but we saw the game slow down a little bit. We saw the animations get nicer. We saw the models get a little better. We saw just the overall quality of the game change. And I know I have to keep in mind that Super Smash Bros., the series, wasn't developed to be a competitive fighter. It wasn't. It was supposed to be a party game. And that's not, and I kind of don't have a problem with that. I feel if you're going to be making any game in the fighting genre, the game should be to cater to the competitive players. Because a casual player, they're going to play a character and not try to learn the ins and outs of the character. They're just going to play the roster, and whoever wins, wins. But you kind of have to make games with the competitive scene in mind, because all it does, if you don't, is create problems for the competitive community. Because if you're trying to make a character casual, well, the competitive community, they're going to break that character. They're going to learn the character's frame data, active hitboxes, just everything. They're going to dissect the characters, and the community is effectively going to change your game. This is kind of what happened with the Smash series. The community, the competitive community, I should say, changed it into something that Sakurai didn't have. But after playing Mewtwo today, I have to say, what the fuck, Sakurai? What have you been doing? I mean, 10 years. I don't think I can stress that enough. This isn't like the first game that you made. And it's not that Mewtwo is functionally bad. I think Mewtwo can be a halfway decent character. I mean, you don't put Mewtwo in a fighting game and make him suck. This is the equivalent of like, how can I relate this? I'm pretty sure you guys know who Sephiroth is, right? The badass boss from Final Fantasy VII. Imagine them putting him in a fighting game. And he's slow. He has no range. And I mean, all his attacks lag and everything. I mean, you're gonna feel some kind of way about that. It's like you don't take a character as iconic as Sephiroth and make him bad. You simply don't. Sephiroth is known for two things: powerful magic. Well, a couple of things I should say, but he's known for powerful magic, incredible range on his attacks, just being a general badass. I mean, nobody can stand up to him. And when I see Mewtwo, I think of Mewtwo these exact same ways. I think of Mewtwo having incredibly powerful attacks, decent range, and just being an overall badass. The one thing I can say that Mewtwo has in this game is a really nice looking model, and even that presents problems. Like in my experience of this playing the character in the game, Mewtwo simply just his model is too big. A lot of the times Mewtwo seems to just clip through opponents and it creates issues. I mean that's cosmetic, but it feels like it actually affects the game because you go in and try to do something and it simply doesn't happen because Mewtwo just clips through the model or clips through your opponent. And the reason that can be a problem is Mewtwo has no range in this game at all. He has no range. His forward smash, you have to be so incredibly close to your opponent, it's not even funny. Like, you have to be in your opponent's grab range to do anything with Mewtwo, with his forward smash. Now, keep in mind, all of Mewtwo's attacks in this game have incredible starting lag. All of his attacks in this game have incredible ending lag. His AAA jab combo, the one that every character has in the game, so much starting lag, so much ending lag. Mewtwo is so clunky in this game that it's not even right. Like, I really want to play as Pidgeot in this game. I really do. But if they do put it in this game, and it gets the same treatment as Mewtwo, I'm going to be severely disappointed. Like, when I found out Mewtwo was going to be in the game via DLC, I was happy for a lot of people because a lot of people really wanted Mewtwo to come back. Look at the treatment Mario got. Look at the treatment Luigi got. Look at the treatment Sonic got. Look at the treatment any other character on the roster got. And you're like, oh my god, if they bring Mewtwo back into this game, he's going to be good. No, they fucked him up. Royally. They thoroughly fucked Mewtwo up in this game. And I don't know how they did that. Let's take a look at some of his things real quick. Mewtwo's jump. Oh god. I'm uploading a video right now of just my gameplay experience with Mewtwo on For Glory. You're going to see everything I'm talking about. If you've played the character, you already know what I'm talking about. But his jump, he has the same jump that he does in Melee. As a matter of fact, he has the exact same moveset that he does in Melee. Nothing changed. He did not get any new moves. Nothing. He's Mewtwo from Melee, just put in Smash 4. That's what it feels like. But his jump does not clip to the edge. You know how every other character, they'll do a jump and immediately grab it? Mewtwo doesn't do that. His little hover thing that he does when he jumps, yeah, that goes all the way up. He has to finish that entire animation before he even grabs the edge. So, I mean, like, his jump is bad. If you don't do it at a correct time, then your opponent simply just gets a free up smash on you. If you go down too low, then your opponent simply kicks you under the stage if the stage has an under, or they can stage spike you. So you're effectively having to use Mewtwo's up special the entire time, which functions the exact same way it did in Melee, except now it instantly grabs the edge when you use it. Mewtwo's forward special is the confusion one that he had. Or the one where he flicks his hand and shoots a projectile back at you. That's the same thing. It's slow. It's really slow. And that's pretty much it. When he hits a projectile, I believe he throws it back faster. which is good because you can catch a lot of people off guard. But the lag on that is powerful. His down special, the confusion, it seems like you have to use that in order to get a kill with Mewtwo, and you have to set it up. You have to be facing your opponent when you do it. You simply don't get any grace with this move whatsoever. You have to be facing your opponent directly. The move is also incredibly close range. It's not as close range as, say, his forward smash, but it's pretty close range. And you have to set it up. Like, Mewtwo has no killing potential otherwise in this game with it. His movement speed is horrible. I mean, you would think Mewtwo would be moderately fast. But even if you do, anything that he does out of his run is super laggy. You try to do a grab from out of his run, it's extremely laggy. The only thing that happens pretty much instantly is his running A. And if it gets blocked or dodged, like, it has so much in lag on it to where your opponent's going to get something off on you. So, I mean, you really are scared to press any buttons with this character when you're in close range with your opponent because everything comes out so slow. And that's the problem that I was having. I was losing games to Charizard. And I'm not saying Charizard is a bad character, but Charizard is a character known for having incredible starting and ending lag on the attacks. That's kind of what Charizard is, but Mewtwo managed to does that worse. And on top of that, the moves that Mewtwo does have that come out fast are still slow. Mewtwo's aerial, his fair, I think that's what they call it, the forward air, and that has some killing power. I don't think I was actually able to get a kill with it because it would never come out fast enough. Mewtwo's up air is, oh my god, it's so bad. I hit somebody with it pretty much at the top of the screen when they had decent amount of damage on them, and they didn't go anywhere, like, at all. It seems like they have to be at least 180 if you want to get a kill with that. Mewtwo's down tilt is pretty fast, but I can't get a follow-up on it. Mewtwo has no combos in this game. He has nothing that goes into anything else. And if you try to react to something like, for instance, I would do a down throw, which would knock them down, I should be able to get an up air out of it, but I have to move in a little bit. By the time that happens, my opponent is already out of range, or they're already recovering enough to where they have to where they can pretty much just run away. Mewtwo's forward smash is bad. Mewtwo's up smash is the exact same way. His up smash has killing potential. It's really hard to hit with it though. You really have to catch your opponent off their game for the most part if you want to hit them with that move. Just because it's not like every other character's up smash where there are some active hitboxes before the move even comes out. Like, it'll hit them and bounce them up so you can hit them with the up smash. It's kind of what it feels like. This doesn't happen with Mewtwo because Mewtwo is so large that his hitbox is pretty much when the attack comes out. So you have to be able to predict something from an opponent. Mewtwo has a kill throw, an up throw, and I believe Mewtwo's back throw kills as well. But you have to have some pretty decent damage with him. Now, this here is the worst part of Mewtwo. Mewtwo's down smash still hits in front of him. How did they mess this up? I don't understand how they messed this up. This game is super defensive. In the video that I'm uploading, you're going to see a lot of the times that I'm losing is because Mewtwo doesn't have an adequate down smash. When your opponent is rolling all over the board, your down smash is an easy setup move because it hits both ways. Every character in this game has a smash attack that hits both ways. Every single character, so you can try to predict the roll and still hit them with the down smash. Mewtwo simply doesn't have this option. It's not like, oh, it's bad and it's hard to hit with somebody. No, Mewtwo doesn't have this option. Mewtwo down smash is directly in front of the character. It's like Mewtwo has two forward smashes. This is exactly what it's like. Mewtwo's down smash does not hit behind him. So when your opponent rolls behind you, that's it. Because they can do anything they want to you because you can't do anything to them. So not only do you have to heavily predict your opponent to hit them with a smash attack, you also have to have the execution skills of like a flea, it seems like. And I don't know how they messed this character up. I really don't. Like, I wanted Mewtwo to be good. Just with the same treatment all the other characters had. Mewtwo should have been good. And, like, I know I got the character for free technically, and I'm not complaining because, I got a free character. It is what it is, but people aren't going to buy Mewtwo if Mewtwo doesn't get fixed. They need to fix Mewtwo. And the one thing that they did do is they managed to make Mewtwo heavy, but light at the same time. Like, Mewtwo is like lighter than Peach, I think. How does that happen? Mewtwo is like 326 pounds in the game, I believe, or he might be like 269. But Mewtwo is a heavy character. Mewtwo should not be dying at 87%. Mewtwo should be dying at like 150, like all the other heavy characters in the game. Like, I can understand if Mewtwo was just slow but powerful. This simply isn't the case. Mewtwo is slow and weak. Mewtwo only has like 3 kill moves. The one that I know for sure being his up throw. People say you can get a good kill with his forward air, but it comes out so slow, it gets beat out by every other aerial attack. And his up smash. Those are the only 3 moves that I know that can kill, but you have to be so close range to your opponent to do any of these things that it's almost unbearable. If you can hit somebody with a fully charged Shadow Ball, I think is what the move is. If you hit somebody with a fully charged version of that, then yeah, you're going to kill them if they're at high percent. Like, I can kill anybody with that at 150 at least. But, like, I don't know. It's not even that Mewtwo is a setup heavy character. Mewtwo has no setups. Mewtwo is just bad. And I know I probably shouldn't even be saying it because I'm not a Mewtwo player. I'm simply not a Mewtwo player. And on top of being like an actual competitive player, I can hold my own in a battle, but I mean, I'm not winning tournaments. But I know the character. I know how to play Mewtwo. And this simply isn't working. The problems Mewtwo had in Melee are the exact same problems they are here. Down smash only hits in front of him. Mewtwo has no combo setups. Mewtwo has no range. Mewtwo has nothing going for him. And this is something that they should have fixed. I mean, everybody wanted Mewtwo to come back. I didn't care whether or not Mewtwo came back, because I pretty much knew he was going to be the same Mewtwo that he was. And if they wanted to try to make him decent, then they're going to have to, like, completely change everything about him. And I know people are going to say, it's like, this game wasn't meant to be competitive. But, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's meant to be competitive. It simply is. They kind of made this game with the competitive scene in mind. There's no other reason to have, for glory, one-on-one, no items, only final destination type stages. Because that's probably the most definitive way to play this game. I mean, anybody can be good when you have random item spawning and smash balls and all this other stuff. Any character can be playable, but on an equal playing field is what this is supposed to be. The character is supposed to be functional. Mewtwo isn't functional. Like, if a character picks any fast character against Mewtwo, you simply just lose. Like, Mewtwo is not beating a character like Ness. Mewtwo is not beating a character like Sonic, Fox, Captain Falcon for sure. I mean, Mewtwo is too slow. All of Mewtwo's attacks come out incredibly late, and they all have terrible ending lag. All of Mewtwo's specials have lag. I just don't know how they messed up on this character. I really don't. You guys are going to see what I'm saying about this when the video uploads because it's got forever and a half to do it. But this will definitely be online before that happens. So pretty much the only thing that's left to do now is wait for the competitive Smash community to dissect Mewtwo, find out things like frame data and stuff like that. But I mean, even with that, you really can't fix, what's broken. Mewtwo is a broken character, and they need to fix Mewtwo. Like Mewtwo is suffering from the same problems that Charizard did in this game when he first came out, but worse. Because I mean, at least Charizard had range. That's the one thing Charizard had was range. Charizard was slow and all his attacks came out slow, but I think they released a patch and it fixed that somewhat. I mean, Charizard's still pretty bad, but Charizard's not, you know, bad anymore. Mewtwo needs help. And, after all this time of actually figuring out all of this stuff, then I don't understand what happened. I mean, there was no way they should have released the character with a down smash that only hits in front. Mewtwo should have gotten a completely different down smash. Just like most characters in this Smash game got at least one new move. Oh, and I should also add on that Mewtwo has no customs either. So, yeah, this character was pretty much doomed from the start. So we got a character with no customs and a down smash that just doesn't even work. I don't know how this happened. I mean, like, Mewtwo would be redeemable if he had a down smash that hit both in front and behind him, like every other character in the game. I seriously hope somebody at Nintendo sees this video. I don't know how Sakurai okayed this and said it was okay to give a character in this game, considering how defensive it is and how good the dodge roll is, a down smash that doesn't at least track. I guess that's all I got right there for my opinions on Mewtwo. Mewtwo is a bad character, and if you're considering pre-ordering Mewtwo, then I suggest that you wait until something changes, because, I mean, the way Mewtwo is right now, this is pretty unacceptable. There's no way this character should have been released to the public like this, and not even be considered good, I guess. Like, there's a fine line between a character being playable and just complete garbage. Like, even a character that's playable, Bowser is playable. Even to an extent, Charizard was playable, because Charizard and Bowser, they both had moves that served a purpose in the game. All the down smashes worked the way they were supposed to. I mean, all the characters were functional in that sense. The fact that Mewtwo does not have a functioning down smash just makes the character not playable, in my opinion. Because when you're online, dodge rolling is what everybody does. When you can catch on to a pattern and do stuff, then you be like, okay, my opponent's going to roll, I'm going to down smash and hit him. Or my opponent's going to do this, I'm going to do this and punish him for it. Mewtwo simply doesn't have any of this potential. Mewtwo is really hard to punish with. The lack of down smash means you have to be completely on your game. You have to be able to predict everything. With Mewtwo, you have to put yourself in a bad situation just to get a reward. Like, the risk-reward thing with Mewtwo is way too high. You're risking way too much just to get one hit on your opponent that's not even guaranteed to do anything. I'll probably keep trying to mess around with the character, see if there's something that I can figure out with them. But just the way it is in an actual competitive game where you expect your opponents to be good, Mewtwo simply isn't just cutting it. But that's all I got for this video right here. I will do a post review of Mewtwo, assuming anything changes or new stuff is discovered. But for the way it is right now, Mewtwo is complete garbage, and you should avoid him. Of course, unless you can get the character for free, but don't spend your money just yet.